Have you ever wondered if asking for a kiss from a mature woman could ruin the moment? Or worse, make her lose interest just when you felt the connection was undeniable? Don't worry, because today we're going to unravel what's really going through her mind, and how, far from seeming insecure, you can turn that simple question into a moment filled with desire and intimacy. The key isn't in what you say, but in how you say it. In this video, I'm going to reveal foolproof tips to excite a mature woman before stealing that first kiss, using feminine psychology and the wisdom gained over the years. Trust me, when you understand what she truly expects from you, you won't ruin the chemistry or face rejection. I'm Celia, and if you're interested in uncovering more secrets about how to genuinely connect with a woman through experience and respect, subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of our videos. Let's begin. 1. Distinguishing between your insecurity and a lack of connection. When it comes to that first kiss, the rules change drastically depending on where a woman is in her life. A kiss with a younger woman is often surrounded by adrenaline, the thrill of the moment, that spontaneous spark that can be ignited with a quick glance or energetic flirting. But when we're talking about a mature woman, someone in her 40s or 50s, the dynamic is different, deeper, richer. Here, it's not about that fleeting spark, but a slow-burning flame, a chemistry that builds through long looks, intimate conversations, and a focus that's felt in every gesture. Do you know why a man sometimes feels insecure about asking for a kiss from a mature woman? Because what worked before with younger women doesn't apply the same way now. With a mature woman, it's not about impressing, it's about connecting. That's the crucial difference. With her, you can't just dive in for a kiss without first sensing the atmosphere. If you do, you risk breaking the emotional tension that's been building. And here's the real issue. It's not so much about the insecurity of asking for the kiss, but the emotional disconnection that happens when you fail to read the signals she's giving you. A mature woman knows exactly what she wants, and trust me, if she's interested in you, she's already given you those signals long before you think to ask. The trick is feeling the moment. A mature woman, full of life and experience, expects you to pick up on her cues before making a move. Do you realize how important this is? It's not just the act of the kiss, it's the emotional groundwork you've laid. For her, a kiss isn't just a physical gesture. It's an affirmation that both of you are in sync. If she's been sending you subtle signals, touching your arm, giving you intense eye contact, leaning in closer when you speak, and you haven't noticed, she may start to feel disconnected. That disconnection is what leads to rejection because, from her perspective, it seems like you're not truly present. A mature woman values attention to detail. If you feel the moment for a kiss is right, it's because you've read her body language, listened to the things she hasn't said out loud, and created an environment where you both feel comfortable. It's not about lacking initiative, it's about missing the nuances she's been sending you. And here's the key. It's not whether you ask for the kiss or not. It's about doing it when the atmosphere has already made the moment feel natural. She needs to feel that you're tuned into those details. So, next time you find yourself in that situation, don't think in terms of, should I go for it or not? Instead, ask yourself, have I connected enough for this to flow naturally? If the answer is yes, then what comes next will be just an extension of the chemistry you've built together. And one crucial thing to remember, a mature woman doesn't need you to be nervous or rush. On the contrary, she appreciates a man who knows how to pause, who can hold a silence, who looks into her eyes before taking that first step, because that's where real desire is built. 2. What she really thinks when you hesitate. Picture this, you're at an intimate dinner. The lights are dim, the conversation has flowed all night with smiles and small confessions. Sitting across from you is a woman who is in no rush, someone who has lived enough to savor every moment, every word you say. She looks directly into your eyes, not with novelty, but with deep curiosity, as if her gaze is peeling back layers of your soul. Everything has gone perfectly so far. You can't stop thinking that this is the moment. You feel the chemistry, the air between you is charged with that electric tension, begging for a conclusion. You feel it in every part of your body, but just as you move closer to kiss her, something inside you hesitates. A doubt creeps in, and instead of leaning in, you ask, "Can I kiss you?" It's an honest, sincere question, but what you don't realize is that in that moment, she goes cold. Not because you asked, but because that small doubt, that moment of hesitation, made her wonder if you really understood what was happening between you two. That microsecond of doubt was enough to break the magic of the moment. What we often don't realize is that for a mature woman, that moment before the kiss is more important than the kiss itself. It's when you're closest to her without having touched her. It's in those seconds, when the chemistry is at its peak, that it's decided if you're both on the same wavelength. For her, it's not just about physical attraction. In her mind, it's a mix of desire and expectation, but also the need to feel understood, to know that you grasp what she's feeling without her having to say a word. That pause, that hesitation you showed by asking, makes her think, did he not feel what I've been feeling? Hasn't he noticed that I'm here, so present, waiting for it to just happen? And here's something important. Mature women have learned over time to read these signals much better than men. They don't need a lot of words or big gestures to know what's happening. Through years of experience, they've sharpened their ability to understand subtle dynamics. They know when you look at them with desire. They know when you move closer and the energy changes. They don't need you to explain it. They feel it. But if you hesitate, if you break that tension with a question coming from insecurity, something inside them disconnects. Don't get me wrong. It's not that they don't appreciate, respect, or dislike you confirming their consent. Quite the opposite, they value it. What discourages them is when it's done from a place of insecurity, from a lack of connection with what's already happening between you, because by asking with doubt, you're telling her that you haven't been fully present, that you haven't picked up on her signals. And if she feels invisible, if she feels you've overlooked her emotions, the magic you two created together can quickly fade. However, if you ask the same question with confidence, the story is completely different. Imagine you move in slowly, keeping that deep eye contact you've held all night, and without breaking it, you whisper in a low, sure voice, as if you already know the answer. "Now's the time I want to kiss you, may I?" In that moment, everything changes. It's no longer a question born from doubt, but from the confirmation of what you both already know. She feels that you're present, attuned to every detail, and it's that security, your ability to read her energy and act accordingly, that makes her answer positive. Because more than the kiss itself, what she truly wanted was to feel understood. In the mind of a mature woman, that first kiss isn't an end in itself. It's the culmination of a much deeper connection. And if she senses that you've been paying attention, that you're not just interested in kissing her, but have also understood what's happening between you two, then you're not just giving her a kiss. You're opening the door to something much bigger. So when you find yourself in that moment, remember this. It's not just about taking the initiative or asking for the kiss. It's about being so connected to her that when you do ask, if you do, it comes from a place of certainty, not doubt. Because true attraction, true magic, happens when both of you are completely in sync with the same rhythm, the same heartbeat. And trust me, if you do it right, that first kiss will only be the beginning of something much deeper. 3. The best ways to ask for a kiss that never fail. Picture this. It's a summer evening. The sun is setting and you're walking with her, a woman who not only attracts you physically, but has also sparked that rare curiosity deep within you. This isn't your first time together. The chemistry has been there since your first conversation, but this time, both of you know there's something in the air. You're walking close to each other, and every so often, your arm brushes against hers. Neither of you has spoken about what you're feeling, but there's no need. Words are unnecessary when body language says it all. She glances at you from the side and smiles, and at that moment, you feel it's time to take the next step. You can't let the moment slip away, but at the same time, you can't rush into it carelessly. This is where many men get it wrong. When asking for a kiss, especially from a mature woman, you can't just dive in and hope for the best. No, this requires more attention, more care. A mature woman has learned to value emotional connection above physical action. First, think about your voice. You can't use the same tone you would for any casual question. It needs to be low, intimate, as if your words were meant for her ears alone. Your voice is a powerful tool if you know how to use it. It can be a subtle invitation to desire. So you lean in a bit closer, not closing the gap completely, but just enough for her to feel your presence. You look into her eyes, those eyes that have seen so much, that aren't easily impressed but are now sparkling with that unique glow that only appears when someone has stirred something inside her. And then, with a deep, low voice, you whisper, "Now's the time I want to kiss you. May I?" It's not really a question. You're not doubting. You're stating what both of you already know, what you've both been building in these shared moments. As you look into her eyes while saying these words, you're not just asking for her permission. You're showing her that you understand the tension that's been created, that you're not ignoring it or taking it for granted. You've picked up on every one of her signals, and that excites her more than anything. Because unlike a younger woman who may be swept up in the passion of the moment, a mature woman needs more. She needs to know that you're truly seeing her, that you're not simply acting on impulse. And in that moment, you'll know by the way she looks back at you, by the brief pause in her breathing, by how her lips part slightly just before she nods. She may not say a word, but in that silence, there's more meaning than in 1,000 random phrases. The first way to ask for a kiss, then, is about how you control the situation without being dominant. It's about giving her the space to feel desired, but not pressured. It's an invitation, a door you leave slightly open for her to decide when to walk through. And if you do it right, I guarantee she won't just step through that door. She'll cross it with a smile, one that tells you the desire is mutual and the moment is perfect. But it's not always about intensity. Sometimes what a mature woman values is humor, the lightness of the moment, the ability to laugh at life. Imagine you're in a completely different setting, maybe having coffee at a cafe. You've been joking around, recalling some funny story, and the atmosphere is relaxed and comfortable. There's no obvious sexual tension, but both of you know that beneath the layer of laughter and casual conversation, something deeper is simmering. In this kind of situation, you don't need the intensity of a low voice or a fixed gaze. What matters here is the natural flow, the ability to make everything feel as if it's the most normal thing in the world. As she laughs at something you said, you gently wrap your arm around her waist, pulling her a little closer, and with a smile you say, "You're amazing, can I kiss you?" There's no elaborate seduction here, no hidden tension, just two people enjoying the moment, and the kiss becomes a natural extension of that connection. If she laughs, or even playfully says no in that instant, but continues to flirt, you keep the atmosphere light. Because you know that no isn't definitive. It's part of the playful teasing both of you enjoy. It's that ease, that ability not to take things too seriously that makes everything flow. And in the end, maybe after a few more jokes, the kiss will happen when you're both ready. There's no pressure, just an undercurrent of desire that you both know how to handle with skill. But sometimes what a mature woman craves is something more intimate, more profound. It's not about jokes or sexual tension, it's about an emotional connection that goes beyond words. You're sitting on a park bench, the day has been long, and the silence between you isn't uncomfortable. It's full of meaning. You notice how close you are to each other, and you feel it's the moment. There's no need to say much, because the silence already speaks volumes. So, you move a little closer. You gently brush a strand of hair away from her face, and as you look deeply into her eyes, you say softly, "I can't stop thinking about kissing your lips. May I?" This is one of the most powerful ways to ask for a kiss. It's not just a physical gesture, it's showing your vulnerability, revealing that desire you've been holding on to all this time. And in that moment, if she looks back at you with the same intensity, you'll know you're on the same page. Eye contact here is crucial. You can't look away, you can't hesitate. She needs to feel that you're present, that your desire is real, and that there's nothing distracting you from the moment. At that point, the kiss won't just be the conclusion of a physical connection, it will be the beginning of a deeper bond. Because for a mature woman, the kiss is only the start of something more, something that touches not only the physical, but also the emotional. Each of these ways to ask for a kiss has its own charm, its own way of connecting with a woman. And the most important thing is to understand when the moment is right to use each one. A mature woman doesn't expect you to surprise her with grand gestures. What truly excites her is your ability to read the moment, to feel what she feels, to understand her rhythms and desires without her having to explain. So next time you find yourself in a situation where you know the kiss is about to happen, remember, it's not about what you say, but how you say it. If you do it from a place of connection, empathy, and respect, that kiss won't just be welcomed. It will mark the beginning of something much bigger. If you've been enjoying the video so far and feel like you're discovering new ways to understand female psychology and how to connect with a mature woman, don't forget to subscribe and hit the thumbs up button to support this content. Stay with me until the end, because the most revealing insights are still to come. For those truly looking to transform their relationships authentically, I have a final reflection that could change your perspective. And tell me, what are you doing while you're listening? Are you relaxed, enjoying a good coffee, or maybe winding down after a long day? I'd love to know. Let's continue. 4. The importance of the setting. The place where you choose to have that first kiss is more important than many men realize. It's not just about being in the right spot. It's about creating an environment that enhances the emotional connection you've already started building. A mature woman isn't simply looking for a dark corner or a secluded spot. She wants to be in a space where she feels comfortable, relaxed, and, most importantly, where she can let her guard down and be herself. The right setting not only fosters physical intimacy, but it opens the door to a much deeper emotional connection. Let me tell you a story that illustrates the importance of this. A friend of mine, Ricardo, once told me about how he spent weeks trying to win over an incredible woman, Patricia. She was intelligent, funny, and had a calm beauty that captivated him. They had gone out several times, but the moment for the first kiss hadn't yet arrived. Ricardo was desperate to find the perfect moment, and he confessed to me that he couldn't stop obsessing over how and when to take that step. One afternoon, he invited her to walk through a busy shopping center, thinking that being in a crowded, lively place would make her feel more relaxed. But as they walked, something felt off. They were surrounded by stores, bright lights, and the constant hum of other people's conversations. Ricardo tried several times to get closer to her, but the atmosphere wasn't helping. There was no privacy, no space where they could block out the outside world and focus only on each other. He realized too late that no matter how hard he tried to build a connection in that environment, the opportunity simply wasn't there. The noise, distractions, and fast-paced energy of the place worked against him. And so, what could have been a magical moment turned into just another walk. What Ricardo didn't understand is that the setting is fundamental. An experienced man knows there are certain places that not only facilitate the moment, but amplify it, filling it with that spark that makes it unforgettable. A park at sunset, where the peaceful surroundings and nature offer a break from the daily chaos, or a quiet corner of a cafe with dim lighting and soft music playing in the background, are the kinds of places where time seems to slow down and closeness feels natural. Patricia, like many mature women, needed to feel like the world could shrink down to just the two of them. That's what creates the right atmosphere for an unforgettable first kiss. And the next time they saw each other, Ricardo did better. He invited her for a drink at a quiet bar, one of those places with comfortable sofas and warm lighting, where conversations are soft and the outside noise stays, literally, outside. It wasn't a fancy place, but it had what they needed: intimacy. As they talked, their closeness developed naturally. There were no interruptions, no distracting lights, no other conversations buzzing around them. Just the two of them, in a space that seemed perfectly designed for everything to flow. And when Ricardo finally leaned in to kiss her, he did so knowing they were in the right place. It wasn't a surprise to either of them. It was the natural conclusion to a moment well prepared, in a setting that encouraged intimacy. Because, my friend, it's not just about technique. You can have the best words and the most confident attitude, but if the setting isn't right, the magic disappears. The right place creates the perfect atmosphere for both of you to focus on what really matters, each other. It's a space that, although simple, becomes a refuge where barriers fall and connection blossoms. Now think about those places you've shared with a woman you care about. How many times has a walk through a park or a conversation on your couch with a glass of wine in hand allowed words and gestures to flow more smoothly? The best moments don't always happen in the most impressive or expensive places. Sometimes it's the simplicity of an intimate space that makes the moment truly special. So the next time you're with a woman who attracts you, take a moment to think about the setting. It's not just about being physically close. It's about creating a space where both of you can let your guard down, where there are no pressures or distractions. A secluded spot in a park at sunset, the quietest corner of a bar, or even the comfort of your living room. These are the places where true connections happen. Learn to read the environment. Notice how she feels in those spaces. If you see that she's relaxed, that her body language opens up, that the conversation flows effortlessly, it's a sign that the setting is doing its job. And when the moment comes, you won't have to do much more than lean in and kiss her. Because in the end, the key isn't just in the gesture, but in the environment you've created for everything to unfold naturally. Those are the moments that get remembered, not just because of the kiss itself, but because of the atmosphere, the place, the space that made that connection possible. 5. Accepting rejection with elegance. Accepting rejection with grace is one of the biggest signs of maturity and confidence a man can show, and I can assure you, women deeply appreciate it. The truth is, no matter how well you've planned the moment, how much chemistry you feel in the air, or how certain you are that she's interested, sometimes a no happens. And when it does, it's crucial to understand that this no isn't a door slammed shut. It's an opportunity to show who you truly are. I remember a conversation I had a few years ago with a friend of mine, Clara. She told me about a wonderful evening she'd had with a man she really liked. The night had gone perfectly, full of great conversation and laughter. At the end of the night, he leaned in to kiss her. What he didn't know was that, while Clara enjoyed his company and had a great time, she simply wasn't ready for that step. It wasn't a rejection of him as a person, she just needed more time emotionally. When she gently said no, his reaction was completely unexpected. He became cold, distant, as if all the effort and connection they'd built had crumbled because he didn't get the kiss he anticipated. Clara told me something I'll never forget. Celia, what hurt me the most wasn't saying no, but seeing him act like I'd broken his heart when all I needed was a bit more time. If he had accepted my response calmly, everything could have been different afterward. The truth is, many times a no isn't final. It's not the end of the road, but a way of saying not yet. But if a man takes it as absolute rejection, not only does he ruin the moment, but he also shuts down any future possibilities. Accepting rejection, especially from a mature woman, is not just about being polite or not pushing further. It's about showing that you're confident enough not to let a no shake your self-esteem or your understanding of the situation. A woman who has lived through various experiences knows very well when a man truly values her time and emotions, and when he doesn't. When you hear that no, many men's first instinct is to question why. They wonder if they did something wrong, if they aren't attractive enough, or if the connection wasn't as strong as they thought. But let me tell you something. In most cases, the no has nothing to do with you personally. The reasons behind it can be many. Perhaps she had a difficult day. Maybe she needs more time to trust. Or perhaps she's not at that emotional point yet. The key is to remember that her no doesn't define your worth. The wisest thing you can do in these moments is to accept the rejection with grace. Don't get defensive and don't try to convince her otherwise. A mature woman knows what she wants, and more importantly, when she wants it. If in that moment she's not ready to move forward, the best thing you can do is smile and let her know you respect her decision, that her timing is just as valuable as yours, and that there's no need to rush anything. And here's another key element: understanding when a no is final and when it's simply a no for now. Sometimes she might be playful, saying no with a smile, or even leaning closer to you while doing so. That's part of the seduction game, a way to test your reaction to see if you can handle the situation with calm and confidence. In those cases, her no isn't a barrier, but more of a challenge, a way to keep the tension alive between you both. But if you notice that her no is firm, her body language shifts, her tone changes, that's when you need to step back without hesitation. It's not about retreating in defeat or feeling bad for having tried. It's about showing that you're a man who knows when to walk away with dignity. A woman who sees that you can accept her no without pressure or insistence will view you differently. Because what we often forget is that respect and patience are two of the most seductive qualities a man can have. Lastly, never let a no wear you down emotionally. Too often, a man can invest so much into one interaction or one person that when rejection comes, he feels like all his efforts were in vain. But that's simply not true. If the no is final, then it's a clear sign that this woman isn't aligned with what you need or want in this moment, and that's okay. It's part of the process of finding someone who genuinely shares your desires and is open to the same sincere connection you seek. It's better to invest your energy and emotions in women who are on the same page as you, who share that mutual desire to explore a relationship with authenticity and maturity. There's no point in exhausting yourself chasing something that isn't meant to be. If a woman gives you a final no, be grateful you discovered it early and walk away with your head held high. Every experience brings you closer to finding the right person. Accepting rejection at the end of the day is an opportunity to show your true strength. It's not a sign of weakness or a reflection of who you are. If you can handle that no with elegance, knowing it doesn't change your value, then not only are you respecting the woman in front of you, but you're also respecting yourself. And I promise you, when the right moment comes with the right person, everything you've learned from those previous no's will make you stronger, wiser, and more prepared for the yes that's coming your way. At the end of the day, everything we've shared here isn't just about asking for a kiss or understanding the right moments. It's about something much deeper, genuine connection. When you learn to listen beyond words, read gestures, accept no's with dignity, and value the moments you share, you start to build relationships that truly matter. It's not about conquest. It's about understanding, connecting from a place of respect and authenticity. A mature woman just like you isn't looking for pretenses or shallow games. What she wants is to feel seen, appreciated, and above all, understood. And that only happens when both of you meet from your true essence, without pressure, without masks. The real power lies in paying attention to details, in patience, in knowing when to move forward and when to wait. Because ultimately, that's where lasting connections are born. I want you to remember something. Every step you take towards understanding, towards respecting the other person's time and desires, is a step toward not just improving your relationships, but also your quality of life. When you act from a place of wisdom and calm, you connect better with others and you connect better with yourself. In that balance, you'll find a fulfillment beyond what you can imagine. My name is Celia, and I want this to be a space of wisdom, a place where we can talk about these essential topics openly, but always with respect. This isn't just about intimacy, but about every aspect of our daily lives, because every small change we make within ourselves reflects in our relationships, in our well-being, and in our inner peace. If this is your first time on the channel, I invite you to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of the upcoming topics we'll be exploring. And if you've made it this far, it means you value your personal growth, and that alone deserves recognition. To know who the committed ones are who made it to the end, comment the phrase "I love wisdom" and let me know where you're listening from. I'd love to know what country you're tuning in from and who's sharing this journey of self-discovery with me. And before you go, don't forget to share this video with someone you think it might help. Sometimes, a simple reflection can change the way someone sees their relationships or their life. I'll see you in the next video, where we'll continue exploring how to improve, learn, and grow in every aspect of our lives.